I am Bishop Wade Moore. I'm the founder and dean of the Urban Prep Academy, Wichita, Kansas.
My name is Nicholas Nelson, and I'm a student at Urban Preparatory Academy in Wichita, Kansas.
So we're here with Nicholas Nelson. Nicholas is an eighth grader now at Urban Prep Academy, and his journey has been remarkable. And what God has done in his life, the hard work he has put into his education, and just to see the growth and the development of Nicholas. Nicholas, wow. I want everybody to get to know you, get to know your story, and just how hard you've worked to overcome a lot of things and where you are right now and where you want to go in life. All right. And so tell us, what school did you go to before you came to Urban Prep Academy?
Before here, I went to Mueller. Yeah, and then before that, I went to Jackson. So I went to two schools before I came here.
Excellent. Yeah, so two elementary schools here in Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, and then was it second or third grade you started here?
I honestly, I think I started first grade.
Started first grade here. Yeah, yeah. And when you came here, I remember your mom talking to me and saying that you had been diagnosed with Asperger's and ADHD and all kind of learning disabilities, and she really wanted you in an environment where you could really learn and thrive. And so she brought you to Urban Prep Academy as this wide-eyed first grader. And tell me what it was like, first grade.
Okay, so first grade, it was all right. So like, let's say I walk in the classroom, I could understand what was going on at the time. So like, none too difficult where I couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And when the teacher would be teaching, it'd be like, oh, I can understand what she's saying, but some of this I don't understand. And I would ask why. They would explain why. I would still not understand.
Yeah. So being in a full classroom with a full class of students, they told me that it sounded like you were in a barrel and that all the noise going on and you couldn't focus and learn like that, right?
Mhm. So like, I think it was hard for me to learn,
Mm-hmm.
but if I paid attention enough and I focused enough, I could learn.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't some to where it's like, oh, she's saying this, I don't understand that. Oh, he's saying that, I don't understand. It would be like, I have to focus, I have to pay attention,
Yeah.
and then I'll understand.
Yeah. And with all those students around, it's kind of hard to pay attention. And so Mrs. Marr was working with you, and you spent a lot of time with Mrs. Marr during this time. And then just seeing you grow and develop each year. And it was around your fourth grade year that you and Miss Marr had an idea, an assignment. Tell us about that.
So when I first came into Miss Mars' class, it was real easier because I loved the way she worked with me. I loved, I loved everything about it. And she would give me an assignment, but it's like, and it's still kind of like this now, but I think I'm overcoming it. It's like I need help all the time, really, because you know it's like some things in math I don't understand, and some things I do understand, or I just think math isn't for me. I think it's something that I'm not supposed to be assigned with.
Yeah.
But I love Miss Mar's class.
Yeah.
I love Miss Mar, and
Yeah.
yeah, I love working with her.
And that's great. What you just said is that you say you don't think it's for you because a lot of the ways that school is taught, we're teaching things to children that they don't understand or they have no interest in it. Some things that may not help them later on in life and where they're going in life. So, but math is a very critical skill, but maybe the way it was taught and the kind of math that schools traditionally teach. And also during that fourth grade year, Miss Mark, you worked on another assignment, and you end up writing a book. Tell us how that happened.
Okay, so it would be an assignment where we would have to like I think it was like if you wanted to be an author or something. So I started, first it wasn't even like me writing my own book by myself. It started as a class assignment, right? To where we were all writing on this one book. And then I think I was like, hey, Miss Marr, I think I should write my own book. So yeah, and that's really how it started. Then we wrote it down on paper and she copied it down. And that's really what happened. And I'm proud of what I did.
Yeah, that is so awesome to start where you were in first grade and then fourth grade. You're writing a book about yourself, which very few students have done, has got a published book. So great work there. And then I saw another milestone when you began to hit middle school. You would spend less time with Miss Marr and more time in the classroom. And seeing you make that transition, how difficult was it going from elementary to middle school for you?
Okay, so in class, let's say elementary school, it'd be pretty easy, I like I said, I would understand this and I understand that, like I said. But going into middle school, it's like it's getting harder because as you go up in grades, it gets harder and more difficult. And it was in middle school, and even in middle school now, it's still things I don't understand. Because, in life, you're really not supposed to know everything. And some things aren't just, meant to be understood. And I understand that, but it's like, I want to understand everything. Even in math, I would look at this and be like, dang, I don't know that. I try to go get help, but, I still can't understand. And I think that's just God telling me that math isn't for me, and like you're not supposed to, understand everything.
Yeah, yep. And you got a great future. And I always told your mom from day one and every year that Nicholas is going to be all right. Nicholas is going to be successful. Nicholas is going to make it. Nicholas is going to continue to grow. And seeing that growth, seeing that development there in middle school. And one of my highlights of your growth and development, I remember last year when I brought a tour through, and we were touring the building for some of our potential funders, and we came into y'all's classroom. And at that time, you were up in front of the class giving that PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. How that feel?
So it was like, let me start by saying this. So everybody would have a assignment, and it would be complicated, right? And I would look and I'd be like, I'm gonna try to do that. So basically, I tried when I did my assignment, and it turned out pretty good. It wasn't the best, but I tried, and I think trying it can really get you places. That's why you have to try.
Yes, absolutely, and that's great that you tried. You did your best. My heart just swelled up when I saw it, man, and to see how far you've come and how hard you've worked and what you have been able to overcome. And then, you're an eighth grader. You're an eighth grader getting ready for high school. Yeah. So where do you want to go for high school? What do you want to do for high school? What are you thinking about high school?
High school, I don't really know yet. It's still something I'm thinking about. But I do want to get into sports though, Maybe basketball isn't for me. Maybe there's something else I can do. And maybe there's something else for my future. Maybe, But I've always liked basketball though. I probably won't end up playing basketball in my future, but I don't think it's really my purpose. Yep. Maybe I got to do something else, but
And my mind goes back again. Remember those school plays and the talent shows that we had? And I always saw Nicholas as this great actor. Nicholas could really act and really play the part. And I always told you that man, wow. I mean, it just came natural for you. And that's where I believe you're going to be very successful. Maybe in that area or something, you're going to do something great. You're going to do something great.
You think if I tried acting, how do you think I would turn out? Like,
Well, from what I've seen in the past, I think that you would land a great leading role somewhere because it seems so natural for you. Remember the talent show when you James Brown and those guys? Yeah, it was just natural for you, and then other acting parts that you've had have just been natural. So I would like to see you get into the arts and to do something like that.
yeah, maybe that's something I need to think about or try doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. Because there's a lot of things you can do in life, you know.
Yeah.
There's not just sports. There's other things you do. You can be an author. You can, acting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really,
Yeah. Sounds like you've been paying attention here at Urban Prep.
I do pay attention.
Yeah. And then, I go back and, as I do education across the country and everywhere, they say kids like Nicholas, man, they can't learn. You just got to let them go forward. But I've seen you learn, grow, develop. I know you're ready for high school. You're ready for that adventure. Listening to you talk today and just seeing where you are to where you have proved to the world that no matter what they diagnose you with, no matter what they label you with, that if you work hard and you focus, you can overcome it.
See, because I think when people try to say, oh, this kid, he's not capable of learning this, he's not capable of learning that, I honestly, I'm going to be honest, I think they're letting the devil use him. Because, you're just saying he can't learn because you haven't seen him do it. You need to give him a chance. You need to let him learn. Because I don't understand why anybody would say that a kid can't learn when all they have to do is try.
Yep. And do you feel like we've given you a chance at Urban Prep?
Yeah, most definitely.
Awesome. And Nicholas hadn't been in any trouble. We had one talk a few weeks ago, and that's Nicholas has just been a great student here at Urban Prep. I'm so looking forward to him continuing his educational journey in high school, whether he do it at Urban Prep when we scale up or somewhere else. I know that Nicholas will be very successful.
Honestly, I want to stay here because you say you're making high school.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just stay here because I think that if I go into another school, it might be more difficult for me. But it's love in here, so, y'all show love, and, so I would rather stay here.
Excellent.